Hi everyone, welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga with gentle movement. For this practice, grab whatever pillows, props like yoga blocks, strap, blankets that you might have around so that you have more options. And let's begin actually in a supported heart lifting back bend. So let's start by taking your 2 yoga blocks or pillows that you can use for the same purpose. Placing one at the furthest end of your mat on its tallest height, and then the second one medium level across your mat. Space the blocks apart. In a moment, you'll see how, but also grab your blankets and open it up, unfold it enough so that you can create a pretty long, like your arm span, your wingspan, tight roll, like a long cylinder pillow. So roll that up. We're going to use this to support our hips and get snuggled in to Supta Baddha Konasana. And then once you have that set up, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together to touch, so your knees are bent wide, and then take your long pillow and place the center of it on top of your inner feet, inner ankles, and then tuck the ends of that pillow underneath your outer thighs, as thick as you might need the support. And then take a look at where the blocks are at, so your pelvis stays on the floor as you begin to lower your back onto the first block, right at the area beneath the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, so that your shoulder bones can release downward into the space between the blocks. And make sure that you've adjusted that medium-sized block so that your 2 shoulders can feel symmetrically releasing away from the neck. Your chest can open up comfortably. And then adjust the one that's behind your skull so that you can allow a natural, spacious curvature in your neck. Back of your head is on the tallest block. And then from your shoulder sockets, rotate your upper arms externally, which means turn the palms to face up, and let the backs of your hands rest onto the ground beside your thighs. And then take a moment here, any last little adjustment, because we're going to be here for a few minutes to start. Feel that your left and right hips are evenly descending, evenly spaced away from your left and right armpits. Your thighs are comfortably supported as needed, so your knees can open wide and your body can be still here for a few minutes. And then feel into your neck, feel into your jaw. Maybe close your eyes and scan all of your body slowly from the very top to the very bottom and through all extremities. Now paying more attention to whatever sensations are present here right now. So pausing and arriving mentally and physically in your yoga practice. And without changing it, notice the way that your body is breathing. Observe where you might feel the movement of your breath. Is it more in the chest? Is it more in the belly or elsewhere? Simply opening our awareness here without having to label anything as good or bad. And then feel into your mind. Notice what kinds of thoughts might be lingering, passing through, overlapping. Is your mind feeling quite active, calm, somewhere in between? And then notice your emotional state. What feels alive in your heart space right now? Is there anything beneath the layers of the louder emotions that you might lean into and kindly acknowledge? And so a very simple theme for today's practice tonight is, how might you be gentle with yourself? We talked about how fall season is characterized by a lot of movement. The leaves are literally shedding from the trees. The wind starts to blow more strongly. Yesterday we had some rains and an even earthquake here in LA. So with all this shifting and moving around, and then the busyness of holidays approaching, we've got Halloween coming up at the end of the week. How can you be kind? How can you be gentle to yourself? A simple question, but I'd like you to observe what comes up in your mind, in your body, in your breath. As you're allowing yourself a couple more minutes here of stillness. Begin to invite a slower breath in, a longer breath out, and maybe a few sighs through your mouth, allowing any sound that may want to move through as energy in motion. Notice how it feels to stretch your breath more intentionally, feeling into the full capacity of your lungs and belly. And then observe the feeling of letting that all go, that feeling of release, of liberation, of surrendering. Last few breaths here. Allow your breath to take on a very soft, whispering sound. And if comfortable enough, while your lips are closed, so that you can practice Ujjayi Pranayama, calming your nervous system, steadying your attention on a slow and rhythmic breath. And just like the quality you're infusing into your breathing now, begin to slowly bring your hands to your outer thighs, sliding aside that blanket so that you can lift your thighs, knees up, and set your 2 feet onto the ground. Right here, just stepping the feet on the floor so they're about hips distance apart and parallel to each other. With your next inhale, slowly raise your arms towards the sky, then plug your shoulder bones down towards the earth. Continue to lift the arms towards overhead if that allows you space in your neck as you do it. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows apart like a cactus shape. See if you might slide the shoulder blades a little further down the back, broadening the collarbones. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms straight back again towards overhead, letting the pinky fingers point towards the sky and then slightly towards each other as you open the chest. And on your next exhale, bring your palms together in prayer and slowly tracing from the crown of your head with your thumbs, slide them towards your brow center, your throat center, your heart center, your solar plexus, your sacral center, and the base or root of your spine. Let's try that again. Inhale. This time, circle your arms out to the sides like you're taking a sun salutation. Gather in the breath as your palms meet in prayer overhead. And then in blessing your 7 main energy centers, slowly trace your hands in prayer from your crown, brow center, throat center, heart center, solar plexus, sacral, and root at the base of your spine. Let's take that 2 more rounds. Inhale, gather it in, circle the arms, palms touch. Really bringing the energy of blessing these energy centers. Exhale slowly from crown, brow, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. Last time, inhale, circle the arms, palms touch. Keep the shoulders relaxing down. Exhale, crown, brow, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. And whether you decide to turn over to one side and begin to press the floor to rise or rock forward, take it gently. Slowly come on up to sit. You might crisscross the legs in some form, pressing your left and right sitting bones down. Press your palms into your lap. And if your knees are reachable with your hands, go ahead and take hold of your knees. You're going to take some seated cat-cows. As you press the pelvis down, lift your lower spine from your pelvis. And then inhale, begin to rotate your shoulders back and down, lifting your chest, look up. As you exhale, pull in the belly, start to round your back, dropping the chin towards your sternum. Again, root through the pelvis. Inhale, lift the lower spine, roll the shoulders back, open the chest, and look up. Exhale, contract your belly, slowly rounding, drop the chin. Let's take another 3 more cycles. Breathe in, expand, and lift your heart space. Breathe out, hollow your belly, round inward. Inhale, root to rise, open up the heart. Exhale, contract, bow in. Last one, deep inhale, sitting tall. And exhale, rounding. And then from here, go ahead and extend your left leg out to the left side. So just your right knee extends. Take your strap and place either the loop or just the middle of the strap around the ball of your left flexed foot. Hold the strap in your right hand, so opposite hand. Place your left hand on the ground or on a prop just on the inside of your left thigh. Now as you raise the right arm up overhead, draw the right shoulder bone down, press the pelvis down, and take a deep breath up the ladder of your spine, lifting to your crown. And as you exhale, begin to side bend towards your left. Breathe in and pause. Root your right hip, especially towards the floor, and then lift the spine a little bit taller. You might have to use your left hand to hand that strap to your right hand a little bit more. Exhale, continue to side bend. So this is an efforted posture, not really restorative. We're only going to be here for about 8 more deep breaths. Inhale, plugging the pelvis down, lift the lower spine. And exhale, continue to explore what's available in your side bend. If you want to turn your head like you're looking down towards the floor under your left armpit, and then turn your head like you're looking up towards your right hand, as if shaking your head no very gently. You might feel into a neck stretch there. About 3 more deep breaths in this pose. And then drawing the navel towards your spine, inhale to slowly rise. Remove the strap from your left foot and bend your left knee open to switch. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap. Flex your right foot and straighten the right leg out to its side. And then hand the strap over to your left hand this time. Place your right hand on the floor or on a prop to the inside of your right thigh. And as you root your 2 hips, press your 2 shoulders down, raise the left arm overhead, and take a deep breath to sit a little taller. Exhale, begin to side bend to your right. Pause, root the left hip especially, and then lift the spine some more as you breathe in. Exhale, continue to explore your side bend. Maybe walking the left hand further down the strap, or maybe not. See if you can keep the shoulders a good space away from your neck. And for about 8 more breaths here, you might explore gently turning your head as if shaking it no, very slowly. Can you hear the sound, quality of your breathing? Feel the length of the in and the out. Last 2 breaths here. And then draw the navel in to slowly rise on an in-breath. Let's put the strap aside. Prop your pelvis up on a block or 2 as you place your shins on the floor. If sitting like this feels okay on your knees, you can elevate your pelvis as high as needed to put less bend in your knees. So a supported Virasana or Hero's Pose. Make sure that your toes are pointed back, feet are not turned out to the sides, and that your knees are spaced hips distance or narrower. Take a moment to place your hands on your lowest ribs, like you're holding that entire rib cage from the bottom. And as you press your pelvis down, breathe in and lift your entire rib cage. Try to feel a stretch in your lower back. Now keep that lengthening of the lower back, the rib cage rising, and then roll the shoulders back and down. So continue to have that little bit of firming of the abdomen, that lengthening of the lower back. And then bend your elbows apart like a cactus shape, crossing your right elbow over your left elbow. Either give yourself a tight hug, crawling the fingertips towards the inner edges of your scapula, or hook your thumbs, or wrap your forearms in palms. And as you press the shoulder heads down, lift through the crown of your head. Feel your chin parallel to the ground. Deep breaths. And let's take a moment here as you're in this shape with your arms to glide your elbows to your right side and to drop your left ear down towards your left shoulder. Full breath in. Slow breath out. About 4 more breaths in this version. Feel into your jaw here. Can you consciously relax the area behind your ears and trace that down to your chin? Slowly bring your crown up so your head comes back to center. Glide your elbows over to the left side. Then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Staying here for another 5 breaths. Notice if there's any resistance, whether in the dropping of your head or in the gently splaying shoulder blades apart or elsewhere. And simply to become aware, not to label anything as good or bad. Again, how might you be gentle with yourself? One more deep breath. And then slowly lift the crown of your head, come back to neutral in your neck, bring the elbows to center, and then take a deep inhale across your shoulder blades as you lift the elbows perhaps a little bit higher. On a slow exhalation through the mouth, circle your arms, backstroke them, and then release the arms by your side, shimmy out your shoulders. Shimmy out your lips. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Let your lips flutter. And then let's bend the elbows apart again, this time crossing left elbow over right. Either give yourself a tight hug where your fingertips can crawl to reach towards the inner edges of your shoulder blades, or hook your thumbs, or wrap your forearms and palms. And then press the tops of your shoulders down as you grow up through each vertebra and the crown. Slowly glide your elbow tips towards your left side, this time first, and drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let's take 5 slow breaths. And this time, feel into the area of your eyes and around your eyes. Can you soften the 4 corners of your eyes? Can you relax the muscles behind your eyeballs? Can you allow your eyebrows to soften as you smoothen out the space right between them? And feel your forehead. Create a sense of ease. One more breath. Slowly, as you lift the crown of your head, bring your elbow tips to your midline. Then gently switch the elbows to your right side and drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. 5 deep breaths. Feel into the surface that you're sitting on, and as you press your pelvis down into it, rebound a slight lift into your lower spine. Feel that lengthening of your lower back, like when you lifted your rib cage earlier. Slightly drawing the belly in to support the lower back. And let's take one more deep breath here. Slowly slowly bring your elbow tips to center. Lift the crown of your head again. And this time, wide across your shoulder blades and the tops of your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and lift your elbow tips a little higher if you can. Slowly, any sound through the mouth, wide open. Exhale, back, stroke your arms. And then release your arms, shake them out. Shake out your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, maybe gently your head. Again, let's flutter the lips. Breathe in deeply. Let your lips flutter. Sometimes it takes a couple of times to get that roll going. Let's try it again. Deep breath in. And then stretch the mouth, stretch the eyes. Let the jaw unclench if needed. Let's go ahead and put those props out from underneath the pelvis. Bring the blocks though, just above the top of your mat. And let's come onto hands and knees. Set your knees a couple inches behind your hips. Set your wrists right under your shoulders. Then take a deep breath here before exhaling to pull your hips down towards your heels. Slowly inhale, rock forward onto all fours again, and press your heart through your upper arms, coiling your chest up into cow pose. Exhale, lift the belly in and pull your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. And just like that, a long paced breath for a long range of cat-cow. Breathing in to lift your heart and breathing out to scoop in the belly and drop the hips. Take about 5 more slow cycles of breath on your own. Can you feel the shoulder blades peeling down your back ribs as you coil the chest up? Can you feel the abdomen pressing into the lower back area as you sink your pelvis back? Notice what details of sensations you can tune into each new breath. And the next time you land in child's pose, you may want to bring the inner edges of your feet to touch. Let's stay there for 5 or more breaths. Whether reaching your arms forward or placing them elsewhere that's more comfortable for you. Rest your forehead down. You could use a prop to support it if you like. And if your forehead is on a surface, you might even gently massage it by slowly shaking your head as you put light pressure on the middle of your forehead. Massaging the area of Ajna chakra, your brow or third eye center. You might remember the energy flowing through here is that of connecting to your inner knowing, your ability to see life more clearly, to visualize, to envision, and to have a healthy relationship with your intuition. Let's take a couple more breaths in Balasana, child's pose. From here, start to look forward right between your hands if they're extended forward. And then slither your chest, your belly, very slowly so that you pass through a throat stretch here. Giving some attention to your Vishuddha chakra. Energy flowing through there is that of ability to listen to understand and to communicate your truth and express yourself creatively. Take your time when you're ready, slithering all the way down to the floor into Sphinx Pose. so that your legs are straight on the ground. Knees as close together as comfortable so that you can have your feet hips width apart or narrower. Let your elbows land right under your shoulders as your forearms parallel each other, lifting your chest. Take a few deep breaths to broaden your collarbones. Lift your sternum slightly, but tilt your gaze slightly down ahead and feel the length in the back of your neck as your shoulder blades slide further down your back. Notice the energy of your legs here, grounding and stabilizing your sacrum. Press the ground with every toenail as you spread your toes. Stretch your big toes towards the rear of your mat. Envision your tailbone lengthening towards the space between your big toes, offering space in your lower back. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. And if you want to add a little more movement for your head to stretch your neck, feel free. Create infinity symbols with your nose tip in the air. Take 1 more deep breath. And then see your blocks that are just in front of you. Let's go ahead and place them on their medium heights, like a train that's crossing your mat. And then as you decide how close the blocks will be, make sure that you can place your elbow tips on each block, separating your elbow tips, your shoulders width apart. Rotate your triceps or your outer upper arms towards the ground. It's like your inner armpits are trying to face each other. And then keep the elbow tips no wider than shoulders distance. Keep pressing the shoulder blades down your back. And then let your fingertips of each hand press into each other. As you begin to trace your thumbs down the center of your skull, down the back of your head, maybe down the back of your neck, and maybe further down towards between the shoulder blades to whatever you can reach. Now, you may need to adjust the blocks to be closer or further apart, especially if there's a possibility of lowering your head towards the ground, and maybe there's not. Just see what's available as you keep drawing the shoulders down your back and rotating the triceps towards the ground and stabilizing your elbow tips, shoulders width apart. Let's take 5 to 8 more slow breaths here. Notice where your body might be asking for your attention that you could visualize breathing into, offering space, offering the feeling of release as you exhale. And let's take 1 more deep breath, opening up the chest, the side ribs, the sides of your upper back. As you finish exhaling, start to come off the blocks. Let's put the blocks aside for a moment and return to Sphinx Pose. So we were here before that shoulder and lat stretch, and now we're after it. Notice if anything feels different. Again, if you want to move your head, maybe drawing figure 8s, infinity symbols with your nose tip in the air, or something else. Take about 5 more breaths. Lion's breath into your stomach. Take a deep inhale, gentle pressure onto the ground, stimulating your digestive organs. Open your eyes and mouth wide and sticking out your tongue, let any sound go. One more time. Full breath into the belly. Tongue out, let it out. And then from here, slide your hands back alongside your floating ribs. You can press up to hands and knees. And go ahead and bring your legs out in front of you. Take your strap once again. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap. Bring the sole of your left foot high onto the inside of your right thigh. And then hold the strap only in your left hand. So your right hand is on the floor on a prop, just to the outside of your right hip. Root down to your left and right sitting bones. Lift up through the center of your spine. Open your chest. Press the shoulders down. Breathe in. Now as you exhale, stay upright and turn your chest to your right. You're twisting towards the outside of your right leg, and then begin to fold towards that upper corner of your mat. Pause, breathe in, press both hips down, especially the left hip. Open your chest, reach the sternum forward as you continue to bow to the outside of your right leg. Last 3 deep breaths here in a revolved head to knee pose, or Parita Janu Shirshasana. Firming your belly in, lead with your chest as you inhale to rise. Let's take the strap, step the ball of your left foot into it. Flex your left foot against the strap. Place the sole of your right foot high onto the inner side of your left thigh and hold the strap in your right hand. Place your left hand on the ground outside of your left hip. Press your 2 hips down and breathe in to lift up to your crown. Open your chest. Exhale, twist to your left side. Then begin to fold diagonally towards the upper left corner of your mat. Pause and breathe in while rooting your right hip especially towards the ground. Lift your chest and lead from it as you continue to bow. Feel that slight action of shoulder blades melting down your back ribs. And let's take 3 more breaths here. Leading with your chest, inhale to slowly rise up. Let's put the strap aside. Have a couple of blocks next to the back of your mat that you could reach for in a moment, just in case. And come on down to your back. Drawing your bent knees into your chest, take a moment to move your thigh bones in the hip sockets here. So inhale, rotate your your thighs apart. Exhale, rotate your thighs back together. Take that for several more cycles of breath, going in both directions, switching it up on your own. Slow and steady. And again, back to that question. How might you be gentle with yourself? Couple more breaths. Then set your left foot on the ground, turn out your right thigh, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh like a figure four while flexing your right foot, curling the toes back towards the kneecap. Place your right hand on the top inner part of your right thigh to gently help splay your right thigh open while you ground the back of your left hip and your two shoulders. Head is resting on the floor, or if you prefer, on a folded blanket or pillow. So keeping the left foot on the ground in this version of hip opening, let's take another 5 slow breaths. You might envision your tailbone slithering towards your inner left heel. Now keep this same shape in your legs and begin to let your left knee fall over to the left towards the ground. Now do it slowly so that if you need, you can grab one of your blocks or 2 blocks and use them to catch your outer left thigh or knee if needed. Some of you might drop the left thigh all the way open where the sole of your right foot stands on the ground. Or you could use your block and let the sole of your right foot stand on the block. So as the sole of your right foot is planted on a surface, make sure that your right shoulder is still planted on the ground. Then placing your left hand onto that same area of your top inner right thigh, very gently press it away from your belly. And let's take about 8 more deep breaths in this position. One more deep breath. And then come back to center. Bend your right knee into your chest, taking hold of your thigh or shin, and slide your left leg down onto the ground. Feel free to give your right foot some movement at the ankle here, like circling the foot in both directions or pointing and flexing the toes. Wind relieving pose, Apanasana. Let's take another 4 breaths. Set your right foot onto the ground with your right knee bent. Turn out your left thigh from the hip and cross your left ankle over your right thigh like a figure 4 shape. Flexing your left foot, curl the toes up towards the knee. Then place your left palm on the top inner side of your left thigh, gently helping to splay it open as you ground the back of your right hip and your 2 shoulders. Take a slow breath here. And about 5 more. Now keep the same shape in your legs. Begin to drop your right knee over to the right side slowly so that you can feel into whether or not you may want to use blocks to catch your outer right thigh and or the sole of your left foot to stand on. Otherwise, you might drop the right knee to the floor and the sole of your left foot might be standing on the floor. Make sure that your left shoulder stays on the ground here. Then place your right palm onto that same inner top left thigh. And gently splay the left thigh open again, so moving it away from your belly for about 5 more breaths. One more breath here. And exhale, release. Bend your left knee into your chest. Straighten your right leg forward on the floor. And for about 5 breaths in Apanasana, wind-relieving pose, feel free to give your left foot some movements at the ankle. This time, draw your 2 bent knees into your chest and rock in any direction here. Forward and back, side to side. With both knees bent, set your 2 feet on the floor about hips distance apart and parallel. Start with 1 block. As you lift your pelvis, slide that block by its lowest height across your mat underneath your sacrum, which is the flat part of your lower back. Not too high up towards your rib cage and not too low to the edge of your glutes. Make sure that it comfortably and stably supports you. Notice how this feels. Now you might stay right here or take your second block, lift your pelvis and stack it by its lowest height right on top of the first block. As you're doing this, you might decide, we'll keep the first block, or tilt the first block to its medium height instead. Tune to whatever sensations are guiding you into just the right height of block or blocks, and just the right positioning. And then you can decide if you want to keep your 2 feet on the ground, maybe rest your palms face down onto your lower belly to feel groundedness, or lift your legs up, perhaps bending your knees softly. Now let's focus on breathing into your abdomen and into the walls of your rib cage. Moving into box breathing here. Samavriti pranayama, which is helpful for calming the nervous system. It's a great breathing tool for moments of stress or anxiety. We inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath in for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold the breath out for a count of 4. Let's try a few together. Empty this breath. Slowly inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Count on your own and adjust the pace as you need. Just make sure they're all even. Take your time finishing this cycle of Samavriti Pranayama. And then gently lower your feet if they're lifted. And slowly remove one block at a time. Once your pelvis meets the ground, gently windshield wiper your shins to drop knees both to the right, both to the left, slowly a few times. Then take a look around at your props and see what might help place your body into a comfortable resting pose. Take a few moments here to set up for Shavasana. We're again going to stay lying down for meditation if you're staying for the last 5 minutes. So make sure you're set up comfortably that you can be there a little bit longer after Shavasana. Maybe drape a blanket over your body or something over your eyes. Maybe a pillow under the backs of your knees for ease in the lower back. And once you've comfortably set up, take a mental scan to feel symmetry in left and right hemispheres of your body. Take a slow inhalation. Open the mouth. Let it all go. And allow yourself to drop in here, resting in stillness. Now, as you remain in a comfortable resting pose, I invite you to stay lying down for our meditation practice of 5 minutes. With eyes still closed, or if you prefer, partially open, gazing gently towards the tip of your nose. I'm going to count backwards from 5, and at each number descending, I invite you to feel your body sink deeper and deeper into relaxation, trusting the support of what's holding you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allowing your breath to enter and exit without any effort on your own. Feel how your physical body naturally receives the breath. Feel how your physical body naturally releases the breath. We'll begin to trace our awareness through each of your 7 main energy centers or chakras. Allow your attention to rest at the very bottom or base of your spine, at the area of your pelvic floor. Imagine the color of red as you allow yourself to feel grounded, safe, supported. Notice anything you might feel in your body at the area of your pelvic floor, base of your spine. Gently allow your inward gaze to slide to the area of your sacrum, lower back, lower belly. Picture the color orange. And tap into the qualities of pleasure, sweetness, spontaneity, play. Feel yourself nourished by these traits of Svadhisthana chakra. And gently ease your attention up to your upper belly, just below your rib cage, solar plexus. Seeing the color yellow of Manipura. Tap into your strength of will, your ability to establish healthy boundaries, to have a healthy sense of ego. Your inner fire that propels you to positive action. Softly land your attention to the middle of your chest at your sternum, middle of your upper back, visualizing the color green of Anahata, your heart energy. Feel into your ability to receive love, your ability to give love, and your true identity of pure love. Then rest your attention at your throat, back of your neck, Vishuddha. Feel into your ability to express yourself creatively and truthfully, kindly. To let your voice be heard and to be able to listen with compassion. And allow your awareness to arrive at the center of your forehead, seeing the color indigo. Tuning into your ability to see through the layers of illusion, to feel into the truth. And let your attention rise to the crown of your head, seeing a bright white light. Remembering your part of the greater whole. All of life within you, all of life around you, your interconnectedness. Slowly breathing in from the base of your spine, traveling through each of those energy centers to your crown. Breathing out from your crown, down your spine, all the way out through the base. Begin to lengthen your breath. Feel free to stay here if you want to stay a little bit longer and have the time. Otherwise, gently moving your body. Be kind to yourself as you slowly transition up towards a seated position. Maybe joining palms to meet at your heart as you bow in to close this practice. Let's take one chant of Om together. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.